I called this channel Speak Feline. To speak feline in my definition means to be able to speak language of the unseen, to hear things that others can't, to know stuff that you're not meant to be able to feel into the intangible, to use your higher sensory perception. I'll talk more about that as we go along. But what I've been asked to do with a bunch of cards that I made myself and some others that I'm going to add as per the energy is to do a little bit of an energy read for whenever you get this. I am making it on the solstice. What month are we in human times? Is it June? Yeah, 2024. There's some crazy activity going on with the sun, double X class flares and geomagnetic storms and strange energetic vertical energy anomalies being showing up, being reported. It's funny how those reporting stations, mysteriously go down whenever there's something strange. Why? Because we are getting less dumb. Hallelujah. We're actually tracking things. Like, what do you mean? So many people feeling similar symptoms at the same time has something to do with our evolution? No way. No way. You've probably been going through a bit of a process if you're not muted or your spark has not gone out. There's a lot of people like that right now too. You might have doubted yourself a fair amount. That's been a bit of I'm told that there's a bit of a message going out en masse to see how well it sticks to those who are sensitive enough to pick up on that, and also to those who are not, to be fair. There's been a big ending of a cycle for a lot of us. Like, you're really feeling it, not just like, oh, feels different than the other day. No, it is different. It's like an inner urgency to be different, to occupy space different. Maybe even you've felt like you need to move, dress, address certain things in your life differently. You definitely might have gone through a period of realizing that something that you've decided or that you had hoped for, hope being a pretense that you don't already know, that something, what's that phrase? All that glitters is not gold. Yeah, all that glitters is not gold. Something may have disappointed you recently, and there could have been a low-key in the background sort of energy drain because of that. Could have been hoping for something that was not really going to happen, at least in the version of you that you're in now. That's not to say that it can't, that it won't, but there is definitely big ending vibes going on. So it could be that some of those things have had to leave your life because, frankly, you need some energetic hygiene, my friend. And not everybody out there is as savvy as you, is as sensitive as you. They may not have had their dark nights of the soul or their endings. It doesn't make us better or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, when those who haven't, or they've got some beef with us, this realm or another, they can sometimes compromise our energy, and extra levels of energetic hygiene are required. So you know what's up with that. Go dunk yourself in the ocean, give yourself a baptism. Clear out your space. Make sure that you clean your space every time you come back from somewhere. This is not to make you paranoid, but at the moment, because there's so much spiritual chaos, what's going on with people, they're tending to attach themselves energetically, and we don't need that right now. What is true for you will never pass you by. So, okay, there's big endings. Things are having to leave. People are having to leave, perhaps certain behaviors. But yeah, well, that's comforting. What is actually true for you will never pass you by. Word. I agree to that. Can we have trust in that what's going on is actually in our favor? Is that possible? It's not just always, oh great, here we go, like another big shift, another big change, like when more solar flares, like more ascension symptoms, more dark nights of the soul. Like, friend, you chose to embody it this time, my love. This means that you came here to end some stuff that's been going on for the collective, in my opinion. If you relate to being a chosen one, call it what you will. If you feel like you got big mission codes here and you've probably been through a fair amount of your own trials, not fit in, all that kind of stuff, have some special abilities. You may have felt even that there has been something put against you, and you may be correct. I'm getting that you are correct. Have you ever been really furious? And has any anger come up recently? Because it sure has for me. And what I know is that sometimes anger is actually the intensity required to change. Other times it's the obvious, something suppressed. It also can be, and this is another option, which I found to be very true, apply it at will, see what feels right for you. Anger can sometimes denote that there's a lie going on. There's something untrue about the situation for you, and it's up to you to not label the anger as something that needs to be quashed and put aside and determined that it's the bad emotion to feel. You shouldn't be angry. Sometimes you need to be intense. Sometimes that's what it takes. Have you not allowed yourself to have that kind of power, that kind of potency? Does it scare you? Just some questions to ask yourself. You're special, okay? Not just like how your mom tells you you're special, but you're actually special. And due to your specialness, which I'm sure we'll get to over time, you are being watched. This doesn't mean you have to be scared or paranoid or looking over your shoulder all the time. You have a sense. You have a sensory awareness, and you have a guidance system, and you have God's protection. So do not be scared. Don't be lazy either. Be aware, but just make sure that if you do notice where you're being monitored, if and when this does resonate with you, just check that they haven't sent any parasitic influences or energies. These can be hard to detect, but you can ask for it. You might have felt abandoned earlier on in your life, and this could have caused some problems in your stomach, in your guts, even in your genitals, and this sort of like reproductive organs, hips, root chakra stuff, the root area. This could have caused it to be difficult for you to connect with the other. Maybe some of this stuff is coming up right now related to the anger and the big ending that you're going through. I'm getting that there's a need to really connect in with the sacred, to really sit down and have a space for that. If you've got a corner of the house, a bookshelf, an altar, whatever you want to call it, like a space that you keep alive, that you go to, you light the candle, you say the prayers, you connect into that. It's almost like an announcement. It's like your daily announcement. Like, I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm showing up as the chosen one. Show me the way. Show me what I need to see today. Where would you have me go? I think in A Course in Miracles, there's one of the exercises, like, where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to whom? And you're asking, the one, the divine, for that insight. So we're not assuming that, that we know exactly the way. We're humbling ourselves at our altar and showing up. I'm sure you're pretty aware that words are spells. How are your invocations of self going? Or what are you saying these days that may be having an influence on how easy or not things are? Just a little note to watch your mouth. Yeah. Check in at your altar. There's some of your guardians really want to get a message through to you, and they've always been there. So if that feels right and true for you, maybe it's some of your ancestors trying to come through. You might have been having psychic attacks in your sleep recently, and if that's true, I'm sorry. I've had that. Inception in dreams seems to be kicking around lately. It helps if you kind of consecrate your space before you go to sleep. No weapons formed against us may prosper. Repeat the shit out of that. It's been really helpful for me. And return to sender, obviously. Those psychic attacks can sometimes having us doubting, as I was saying in the beginning of this, like doubting that what you're creating has value, doubting your own progress, doubting your value, all that stuff. Even people who are quite, you would say are fairly balanced are having some of these doubts right now. And I believe that's because we're about to take another big leap. If this is a big ending, they're going to send out, the proverbial they, are going to send out any sort of ways to decoy that, because we're actually advancing. Okay, so you may have a big idea, that's actually going to change the world. And so part of this big ending is making space for you to actually see that maybe there's some parasites, maybe there's some projections in your field, maybe there's some illusions around what you think is going to be the way, and it's needed for you to step up to your altar, release all of that stuff to God, ask for what the way is so that you can just have a clear shot. Like, show me the way to my great works. It's also required often to get these messages and to get these downloads, we need to be alone. But the type of aloneness is worth mentioning. We want solitude, right? We want solitude, but we don't want isolation completely. Not at the moment. Because when you're by yourself, sometimes that can really play into some unhealthy behaviors, some reverting too easily to certain thought forms. And if we're trying to watch our words, we're also going to try and watch our thoughts, aren't we? So this can also be a way that the attacks can find a weak spot. So if I were you, I would go through any place where you might have a weak spot or a perceived weak spot, write it down and actually sit with it and ask, how much of a hold does it really have on you anymore? Like, how much is that just almost like an auto-responder that kicks in when XYZ happens in life? And how much do you allow yourself to be manipulated by that? Like, if you can't be manipulated if you're willing to see where this energy might take a cheap shot. Remember, you're having a big ending. You're getting prepared by the divine to produce your great works. You're being shown where there might be any untoward, shadowy shit around you so that you can move freely towards this creation. Yeah, you've definitely been targeted to not succeed. So it feels to me that it's coming from a past life. May not be for everybody, obviously. You take whatever feels right and light and true for you. Could be why you have some of that anger as well, is because it's just annoying. Like, you just want to get to the creation, but instead of getting to the creation, I got to deal with these feelings or these stupid thought forms. Return to sender, my darling. All thoughts. This tool saved my life, honestly. All past life contracts are null and void. Say it. Write it in the comments. My past life contracts are null and void. Let it reverberate through all the dimensions, all the spaces and places. Let your secret desires start to come forward. What do you really want for yourself? If you weren't dealing with all of this other, what would you be creating right now? I tend to work with chosen ones who also resonate to being a creator of some kind, inventor or solutions or artistry, or, I mean, we're all creators, right, essentially, but specifically I feel like art in any form, creation in any form, is what's going to get us across the line here this time. Okay, yeah, very common theme. Allowing versus force. This seems to be coming up quite a lot these days. How much have we been taught that, hustle culture, or you just got to push through, okay, yes, a certain amount of devotion and dedication and consistency is required, but not to the point of this like overly, like shadow masculine vibes where it's like, if you don't hit your productivity quota for the day, then you're a piece of shit, and go watch more angry motivational speakers on YouTube. There's a thing called allowing, and I think we're coming into that a little bit more now, where the reality of force is just fried people. It's just burned people out. It's not really maintainable. And I think a lot of people are starting to get that it's one way to grind people down, to drain them of their juju, of their energy, so that they can't make the things that they actually came to make. The real good. So where can you be more in allowing? Where can you, use some downtime, some relaxation? Where can you relax into your work at the very, very, very least? Like, how many times have you sat there and just like, you're all choked up and you're all, suffocating yourself, essentially, not even breathing. I've done it. I have to do it. I have to catch myself like, yo, breathe, bitch. Tense shoulders, screwed up face, staring at something in focus. Like, what about softening into space? being present with what is. Like, how actually does your body feel? Does it need like a 15-minute break to go for a quick little zip around the block and sit under a tree or do some breath work or something, you know? I'm getting here that if you are an artist, if this is true for you, that your art is very sacred. And part of it is actually coming from the shadow work that you're doing, either now or before, however it resonates. You've left your energy in other places, and it's been why you haven't been able to complete certain things, so you are able to call that back. I feel like there's been a bit of a distraction related to emotions, and that's stopped you from being able to see what that art is or what the path ahead is, and it's really what you're looking for. I'm getting that dance in a wild-ish kind of way, not to follow the steps of the teacher kind of way, but I just let your body be wild and free, and, you know, be great if you could move into some kind of trance would be super helpful. Too many thoughts in your head. I think you need to journal more and just let that stuff come out. Just let it come out, not in any kind of structured way. I'm getting the need to let yourself be free in the way that you are communicating stuff that's going on internally. Now, what is your art? I'd love to know if you want to share with me. I'm curious because generally there's a target put on those who are here to create solutions, and I believe art is a solution. So I'm curious to see what that is. You may have been struggling with money or perceived lack of money. This could have been inherited, like ideas around what abundance is. There's definitely something owed to you. So you're also able, this is a hack, quantum hack, to ask for wherever you're owed money in other time and spaces, dimensions, and realities. You can ask for that back. Thank you very much. All the gold and jewels, all the treasures, all the wealth, whatever's owed to you. That could also be your spiritual inheritance. It's sort of, you know, incoming. Yeah, it's time for your next mission. I'm wondering if you channel or you sit and you open yourself. If you're an artist and you know this state, you know what I'm talking about, but it's sort of like something that you open to. Maybe you need to just stop trying to, you know, use all of the technology. I know I was like trying to get ChatGPT to do something for me, but actually it just had to come from my channel, as in the inner flow. Spirit wants me to tell you that some of the things that you'd have had to give up were necessary. It was necessary for you to give those up. So however tender that was, some of this stuff even came from birth. You might have found out some tricky information. It could have been if when you were between 6 and 12 months old, or this could be a process that you're going to go through in 6 to 12 months time, or however this resonates, whatever you just let go of. If you've just gone through a dark night of the soul and you've done some of this deep clearing work in your root chakra potentially, or maybe around abandonment wounds, it could be that in 6 to 12 months that you see the kind of reward of that, you know, because anything that you exchange that is dense is going to cause an effect, isn't it? Yeah, you need to chill more. You need to be more in stillness, to sit and listen and see what's coming next, to clarify your vision, to receive what is this sacred art, you know? There might be a little bit more shadow work to do around this, but you've got your guardians here to help you, right? So you're not alone in this. You never are, you never were, you never will be. You were sent on this mission down here with the rest of us, trying to figure this shit out. Yeah, look, I feel you. It ain't easy. It's also very confusing in the beginning when you start to get messages, like when your channel opens or when your gifts and abilities start kicking in, you really start to doubt yourself. And you know, I think the programming is designed to get you to doubt yourself so that you it takes longer for you to cultivate. Oh, so you're telling me you're a genius. Well, how does that not surprise me? Looking for flow state. So we've got trance dance, flow state as well. So it seems like you're looking for some freedom. Where do you have to acknowledge yourself more for the gift and the genius that you truly be? You know, it's not arrogant to recognize your capacities. Ooh, divination skills underutilized. Okay. So we're saying meditate. Ask for what's owed to you. Could even be your clear seeing, your clairaudience? No, it's clear hearing. Clairvoyance. Your ability to see internally. How are you going to get there? To listen more to that? To see more of that? You're going to have more stillness. And then this clearing that you're going through right now. I would say that you could also ask your guardians for that, for knowledge, and you could have these already. You could have had many lifetimes already being a kind of oracle in your own right, a bard, a seer of some kind. If that resonates for you. Here we go. Return to sender. Yeah. Okay. So all parasitic energies, all compromised energies. I'm just reading off the cards now, just to put them together. Wherever something is attached to your energy field, any psychic attacks, any past life contracts. Where else? What else can we return to sender? Oh, any emotions that you might have been picking up from others. What else do we have? Yeah, any sort of projections and targeting or energy that's being sent to your field. Would you be willing to return all of that to sender now with consciousness attached? And if yes, take a nice deep breath for me. Take a nice deep breath for me and imagine and just will that. Use your delicious, juicy will to send that shit back. Return to sender. Never return to me, motherfucker. Yeah. Honestly, that tool saved my life. Return to sender. Maybe you need more inspiration from others. Okay, so that would be maybe not isolating, going out on your little adventure, follow the energy and see what life would like to show you. Get some inspiration. That's all really lovely. I'm loving that for you. Okay, I'm going to get a Tao Oracle card for you. What energy does the collective need to hear about from the Tao? What can help them in this time? Show us what we need to hear. Show us what we need to see. Ooh, excess. Stress, overload, exhaustion, obsessiveness, gluttony, burdens, worry, the breaking point. Okay. So it seems like this big ending has been bigger than. You might have even been pushed to the point where you didn't know if you could make it through with the skills that you have. If that's true, I'm sending you so much love. I've been through this. Even somewhat recently, it ain't easy. It's like we're applying our own self, figuring out our own shit. We're essentially picking ourselves out of the mud and being generational curse breakers at the same time. 28, you may be 28 years old, maybe 82 years old. Or the number 10. 10 is like a completion number. That would make sense. Okay, and at the bottom we have 18, work on what has been spoiled. Healing, correct past mistakes, make repairs, clean up corruption, restore balance, responsible action. Well, that would make sense. If we have this root chakra abandoned situation here, and that maybe something occurred since birth. There's some kind of past life contract even related to these psychic attacks. It could have been someone in your family who really hurt you at this level. Sometimes, unfortunately, it is the closest to home. Sometimes it's too close to home, and hence the disappointment runs really deep. So if you're going through that right now too, I just send you a big hug. I'm going to read a little bit from the book around excess. Like, we can't be processing all the time, yeah? It's just too much for the body. It's too much for the mind. Like, it does take a little bit of time. You figure out some shit. You go through the whole thing of shedding that off, all Phoenix vibes and everything. You need to give your body a good, nourishing minute to catch up. Like, if you need to sleep more, if you need to not take on so much work, if possible, like, be kind as you unravel and unwind all of this. Okay. Oh, I'm just going to sort of scan through and see which and what. The old I Ching texts regarding this hexagram use the analogy of a ridgepole that is so overloaded it sags to the breaking point. The overload can be too much of a good thing, or on the other hand, exhaustion from too much doing. Whether the pressure is coming from outside or from within, excess can make you feel like a beast of burden. This is the moment to begin eliminating stress and to understand how it got there in the first place. Undoubtedly, somewhere along the way you have chosen to ignore your own limitations. Waking up to the reality now can be disturbing. Up to this point, you might have adopted a grin and bear it attitude, but now, like it or not, the situation needs to be changed. Right. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? To relieve stress on any level, the best place to begin is to come back to yourself and take responsibility for how you think and how you act. Some of that stuff might not also be yours, not to deflect, but remember, people might be projecting at you, and some of the stuff that you think you're dealing with may actually be sent to you because you are advancing. Let's put that in there as an option as well. Because you've probably been doing your work, I'm guessing, I'm feeling. There's always this need, a requirement to check in, like, what actually is my truth? It sounds so, like, lofty and aloof sometimes, but as you are now, this is a big ending. Sound like beginning, big ending, beginning. Yeah, and you're letting go of a lot of things. Bless you. You're starting to notice that your light bothers others, and that it hasn't been easy for you because there's been some, deeper programming that you're deconditioning right now. You know you have a purpose. You know that it's possible. You know that there's something there for you. There's just a little bit more to do here around maybe safety, security. This could be where the healing is right now. Let's look at number 18. So you could be 18. Could be 81. There's 81 and 82 there. Work on what has been spoiled. Let's see what it has to say. Yeah, it's again talking about looking within yourself without denial or embellishment to see what part you have played in creating the current degeneration. From the center point of your own being, a ripple effect radiates outwards and the gradual process of healing can begin. So this is again trying to having a look at what it is that's caused perhaps this anger, what story has been there. Which of that has actually been family-oriented, perhaps, that has kept you from being able to pursue your great works? What are these unhealthy behaviors? Oh, I forgot. I didn't even see this one that was here. It says, you're not as fucked up as you think you are. What do you know? Isn't that the truth? Repeat 10 times. Write it in the comments. I'm not as fucked up as I think I am. Begin the work of cleaning up and restoring balance in your own small self first. Give it your total love and attention. Be forgiving and absolutely diligent. You and the world will be better for it. Yeah, the mind isn't always the most reliable thing. Can we just acknowledge that right now? Okay, let's pull a couple more. What have we got coming? What wants to be known? Thank you so much. We're truly grateful. What can help? What can help? Oh, expect the best outcome. I love this as a helping card. Expect the best outcome. So not as a denial thing or a dismissal, like you're just going to sit around and chant Om and hope the best or someone's going to save you. No, it's not like that. It's assuming that God got your back. Can you find some of that trust? I think I said it in the beginning. If you know that things are working out in your favor fundamentally, then you know some good shit is going to come out of this. This chaos will be your rebirth. Yeah? What else have we got? What else can help? I do like some of Neville Goddard's work of The Wish Fulfilled. It's like you practice that. And there's also another one that Archaics talks about on his channel about like programming what he calls the simulacrum. And it's sort of a similar thing where you assume you assume what it is that you're asking for. Say no to heaviness, which is another way of saying no to lies, because lies and untruths always appear as heaviness. Whenever you get contracted, it's not true for you. So wherever you've been angry about something, check. Were you fucking right about something? Are you just done? Have you had enough of these attacks and having to deal with this story, whatever that story is for you? It's time for you to claim your light and your space. You get to have the happiness. You don't have to have just what's been inherited. You don't get to have just this weird death magic and these things that have, these psychic attacks and things that you've carried around with you since birth. Might want to clear the entities too if you know how to do that. If not, I might cover that in another time. And still your eyes. And still. They try to get you. And still your eyes. And still your art will come. And still your creation will. And so will you. Just to use your will, you know? To bring this out more. And I think I see where... Well, I see where that path can lay for you. I hope you can see that too. Not as fucked up as I think I am. Mantra. Let's just get a normal tarot card and then see what else. What energy can the listener relate to? Ooh! 9 of Pentacles. It's this lady all up in a garden. She's wearing like a kind of robe thing. She's got like a fancy bird on her finger. She's chilling. Maybe you're ready to welcome a new state, a more abundant state. So if it has been money that you've been worried about, that story, whatever that story was related to not having, or where it's been influenced, or where there has been some inceptions around that, whether from family or otherwise, you get to build a new reality when it comes to your finances. You as a being are actually very abundant, and I know you feel that, even if it's in secret. I know that your inheritance is something far greater and beyond than all of your family put together. There's something else. Let's ask for more. What else is possible here? You might be having to make a decision between 2 options when it comes to your money. And that could be a reason why some of these other considerations are coming up around safety and security. You may even have to travel for that, or you may feel a little bit like emotional about which decision to make. We've got another 9, so it's definitely ending. You're like right before a big ending. The Hermit. You have gathered a lot of wisdom though in this solitude, and or you're about to gather a lot of information while spending a little bit of time alone, listening, having stillness, clearing out some of these heavier stories, because once you do that, your cup is going to runneth over, my dear, and a new adventure is going to start for you. You're going to feel renewed and energized, more childlike, more free, more available to the world. You'll even start acting differently. A big opportunity perhaps will come through after you've done this clearing. You made that choice, just make that choice. You know what I'm saying? Whatever feels lightest for you. So funny. A spider just dropped down right in front of the microphone and in front of me. I've been getting a lot of spiders recently in my like motorcycle, people's tattoos, in my face. Hello, spider. I'm going to move you, buddy. Here, go in my tarot box. Spider. So you might need to look that up. Actually, I did look that up the other day. What am I talking about? Let me just... Ooh! That is also another sign. It is exactly midnight. Midnight on the solstice. There you go. As I was looking for spider definition. Okay, what I did write down about it, it may the other information may be more true for you, but this is what I wrote. It's a creator spirit. You need to glow slow. I was going to say, yeah, maybe. You need to go slow. There's a right timing to things. You may have instincts to become an inventor. Maybe that's what your art is about. You're about to birth an invention. It's time for you to perfect your skills. This could be what the hermit time is about. Remember, don't isolate, but do spend time alone and listen. Something very important waiting for you that's going to help change the world in a better way. It's time for you to refine your art. Catch what you need. Catch it. How can you weave a web that supports you, an energetic web that supports your life and your soul? Another thing that I wrote down was spider is a lover, not a fighter. So that for me would be the allowing versus force. A little bit of, loving. Come out from the dark and feed your soul. The hermit has that light. So we're not scared of the dark. We're not worried that they're watching, that they want what we have. Get in line, bitch. We know. We know we're special. We know we're chosen. And there's something owed to us here. We're ready for that. We're ready for our clear seeing. Speak it. Speak it into existence. Assume that it will come. Expect a miracle. Write it down. Leave a comment. I expect a miracle. Thank you, spider. Lover, not a fighter. I love that. Woo! And we've got Wheel of Fortune. Something is changing in your on your behalf. 999 might be some sort of significant number to you. You might see it around. Also, we have the Strength card. Leo energy. Connecting to infinity, to your divine strength. Taming the beast within. Allowing change. Allowing your connection to the forces. My eyes are being drawn to all of the different beings and entities around the Wheel of Fortune. And, they're writing and reading from sacred texts. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're someone who is like a sacred scribe of some sort. Maybe you need to listen and you'll receive that information and you'll do some automatic writing. If I can speak the English. Clear out the heaviness, my loves. I think that's definitely return to sender as much as you can. Is there anything else here before I close? Anything else? Ace of Pentacles. So you got 3 aces. So you're definitely up for some serious opportunity. Not serious as in serious, but like for real, for real. This is awesome. A new offer, a new clarity around that. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, and Ace of Pentacles. This is amazing. How cool is this? All this newness, all this freshness. It's like the biggest reward after going through such a big ending. What else do we got here? I just wanted to look at the Thoth. I always say that wrong. Yep. Something's coming in for you big time. Expect a miracle, my dear. Expect it, know it, allow it, pray for it, go to your altar, let your guardians know that you're here, you're up for it, that, you also don't mind receiving some help right about now. Thank you so much. Ask for it, yeah? Just one more. I'm still learning these cards, but I love them. So much juiciness embedded in these cards, the Thoth. Ooh, the Aeon. Yes. The ultimate connection to spirit, to the forces, to the energies. This card basically represents like an awakening, a big realization. And there you go, the end of a big cycle. It's ultimate attainment as far as I can remember. It's the number 20? 20? 20, yeah, 20. This leads to a new beginning. It's like Horus is there, but there's also Nuit, goddess of the night and the sky. This is profound transformation and higher consciousness. Well, you're getting all these gifts just coming out of the blue. You're going to get something really special coming in, because still you rise, baby. And still I rise, yes. and still you rise. Peace, peace, peace to you. I hope this helps.